So darn. I'm ready for that.
What's up?
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming to the ANC 5F Commission public meeting. We are holding this meeting at Edgewood Recreation. Okay. Okay, everybody, this is my first time, so be patient and bear with me. Bear with me. First thing on the list, this is call to order and roll call. Can you help me, Commissioner Galvan?
Sure. So we'll start with Commissioner Sani,
Yep.
Commissioner Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Hurst,
Present.
Commissioner Anderson. And she's not online, correct?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Galvan, present. Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Here, I'm online and I'll be there in person in a few minutes.
Thank you. Commissioner Pinckney.
Present.
That means we have quorum for
We have a
six out of 7 commissioners.
Okay, second thing, approval of the agenda.
So,
Remove that.
yeah, you basically ask if anyone wants to add or remove from the agenda.
Okay. Do anybody have any changes they would like to make to the agenda?
I do. Although Eckington Muse presented to us previously, they were supposed to present today. I had an issue. I had a Saturday meeting, had everybody come back out again to talk about this project. Some of the community still has issues with this project. So I would like to remove it, hold one final meeting that says if you are not present at this meeting, then you have nothing to say about the project. And then I'm finished with it. Then after the meeting, I will get him back on the agenda. But in the meantime, I have contacted zoning. I tried to talk to them today. I called what's her name? Sharon Shelling, someone named Hill, and Sharon Shelling's supervisor, Sarah Barton. Nobody got back to me, but if the ANC has not approved a project, if there's a hearing, zoning will not have them at the hearing until they are approved by us. So that's that. But I'll be glad when this goes away.
Question, what's the name of your project?
Eckington Muse, zoning case number 2324.
So I think the formality here is we just say which items, like 5A on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
I
So
was looking for it.
It should be on the action
Yes, on
agenda. Like there's a presentations related, we'll probably strike that, right? There's no presentation.
Okay.
9B.
And then they're also on the action agenda, I think is a voting item, right? So we also.
Yeah, it's a voting item, so you have to change that.
Oh, maybe that's
Muse?
Yeah.
I told you I was gonna have to help. I never did this.
We are.
Is there any other changes to the agenda?
Other changes to the agenda?
Is there any other changes to the agenda?
No,
No.
I don't have it.
Seeing,
We don't see it. We take a vote. We don't vote on this.
Yeah, to approve the agenda.
Okay. We're gonna move to take a vote on approving the agenda. We're gonna do a roll
Treasurer.
call.
Yeah, roll call,
vote.
Yep, roll call.
all right, you want me to call the roll?
Please.
Yep.
All right, Commissioner Hurst says aye. Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Galvan.
Aye.
Commissioner Joe Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
And Commissioner Pinckney.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. The ayes have it at 620. All right.
Okay, approval of minutes. Well, he's not here. You
Joe
gonna wait for him
Bishop.
to?
He's online, so he can.
Oh.
Yep.
Commissioner Henchman?
Yes, thank you. We have two sets of minutes, one from our, what month is this? June, one from our May meeting, and then one from our special meeting. I circulated those online. I think Commissioner Galvin had one comment where I misattributed something to Commissioner Sani that he said that's been corrected. Other than that, they are as distributed, and they've been linked on the posted agenda for a week now as well. So with that, happy to take any questions or comments, but would move to adopt the agendas, or excuse me, both sets of minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
I had a question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
I had a question.
Hello.
There we go.
She's there.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're right.
he
Jen
is.
is coming, right?
No.
No.
Right, he have to be next to me. I have a question about the June 7th special meeting. Online, you had it for Max liquor store, but it was another liquor store instead. So so we will be accepting the minutes for what liquor store? The special meeting,
The minutes of the special meeting, and that special meeting dealt with Max.
Max.
Next, the first one.
Okay. Motion has been moved and second. Do I need a,
Who seconded it?
I did.
by Commissioner Galvin? Say it correctly for me.
Galvin.
Galvin. Okay. Okay, officers report and commissioners announcement.
I think we need to do
Or you want to do a roll call?
for that.
Or just without objection,
Oh,
but
without
a vote of some kind.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hurst, aye. Commissioner Sani,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Galvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Joe Bishop Henchman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Pinckney.
Aye.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, 6-0.
That's
That's right, yeah.
Aye.
Okay. All right, meetings, minutes are adopted.
Alrighty, moving on. So I can go to officers reports now?
Yeah.
Okay. Officers, commissioners, do you have any announcements? Any
I
reports?
could do a quick treasurer's report, very quickly if you want. That would be the only.
Oh, it wasn't on here, but
Oh, yeah, all right. So we have spent $200 to pay for our bank, our mailbox. That so there's only been one check for $200 that has been spent, and that brings our bank account balance to $31,654.52. So that is the only expense we have incurred in this period. So that is the conclusion of our treasurer's report. Beyond that, DC Public Schools had our last day of schools with kids today. There's a joyful noise made when the kids left, and then when the parents, when the teachers got to leave too. So it's nice to announce that. A lot of happy people. So.
all right. Anyone else? Commissioner Sami?
I joined a few other commissioners across the city at the DDOT open house for ANCs this past Saturday. It was really good to meet folks at DDOT to talk smaller projects and concerns in the neighborhood. Specifically to like my little corner of Edgewood, we talked a lot about parking and bus stops, as well as some sidewalk improvements that folks want. So making sure we understand how we can best work with DDOT in those capacities. So hopefully over the next few months, you'll see some resolutions or some movement from the city to kind of help close those quite literal gaps. That's it for me.
Just In case you're unaware of the changes in the bus stops, in the buses coming through our community, in 2025, the P6 and the G8 have been combined. And the P6 will no longer come out our street. It will travel on T Street. T Street down to Eckington Place, down Eckington Place, across the new Dave Thomas Circle, onto New York Avenue. Okay. So for those that do use the bus, that might be a big change, especially if you live on our street.
And they're taking feedback at WMATA.
Still.
Yeah,
taking
so,
feedback.
so send in thoughts. If you like it, if you don't like it, they want to hear both.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, I got a question. I'm trying to figure out if T Street from the school is turned to a one-way, how is the bus on the street? Down T?
Well, there is a bus right
I'm saying, I
now.
know
The
the
P6 is coming down T Street now, but it's only picking up students from McKinney.
Okay.
So right now at McKinley, it makes
So
the turn on
sense
the,
to try to make that route be the route.
A permanent route,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I see.
right now the P6 comes down, makes the turn around McKinley onto
Yeah,
R.
Tom,
And right now it continues along R. Instead, what they want to do is have it turn immediately onto Eckington Place and go down
Yeah,
the
from
route that
T
Commissioner
onto
Pinckney described.
only one way around. Because
Yeah.
the school is only one way around, but like, you have to make the route to be accessible for everyone. I believe that.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm at 2123 4th Street, and those buildings right there by the liquor store, the gas station. I do see the change within the community far as the ethnic group, different people, and the metro, like you said, and the streets, because it was blocked off, now you got a lot of space out there for parking. And the buses is like, like separate, for people to have their own little special time, but they're not close by nobody else, so it's not cluttered. Now, the situation that I'm here for is the liquor store.
No,
This young
Coming to
lady
that.
just spoke about that. I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's why they was on Metro,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the traffic and all that. But as far as the traffic, I feel the idea is good, though, but the only thing is with some cars being parked, so how is that gonna make it more easier for that bus to come? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think of that.
we're on T Street.
I'm talking about, oh, you talking about just as far as the schools, I thought we was talking about coming straight down to. You see what I'm saying, from North Carolina? Cause they got where the P6 to stop at right down there.
Yeah, it goes down.
Yeah,
Straight.
Right.
And it's Lincoln Road or North Capitol.
Right, and North Carolina.
Okay,
Okay.
then it comes all the way down to T and back up again.
Okay, thank you, that's what I was asking. Cause I know there's no way that's gonna come from down First.
No,
Okay, thank
So on the return trip is gonna be on our street.
no,
T Street.
it's not gonna be an R
They're-
street
they're-
at
you.
all.
they're getting it off our
Oh, it's gonna
So
still
it's on
resume Third
T Street.
Street, right? It's still gonna resume Third Street from Eckington.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But isn't one portion of T Street one way? They're gonna turn that back into a two.
I guess they'll have to if there's, well, it would be easy to keep it one way when buses coming down there.
That's what I'm saying.
Because there's no way a bus and a car can pass on T Street.
True. But on the return
No,
trip,
they can't.
on the return trip, how's the
I-
bus gonna travel?
I don't know how that's gonna work. All I know is they
I
took
think
it
it's
off.
Okay, is it still coming?
It's what the P6 currently does. I
Okay,
don't
the
think they're
same way,
changing
the
that.
same route coming from Rhode Island Avenue Station is the same route going
Nah,
the other way,
the
right?
route coming from Rhode Island, we changed the route coming from Anacostia is gonna stay the
Must stay
same.
the same.
I wish I wish I'd brought a map, but
Wait a minute,
at the
we
WMATA
got one.
website, they
We got
have the
one
map.
right here.
You got it right there.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all about to.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Because I'm
T Street
listening
one
to
way.
you guys, and I'm confused.
How's it coming
Yeah.
back?
Let me tell you, I took a picture of it.
No, I'm about to say, you go to Metro, and that.
We're waiting on.
Let me just,
Thank
oh my. Names are not coming up.
you.
Oh, folks, yes.
And same thing as this policy.
Maybe I hate this. Yes, I do. I'm having a problem. Okay. Okay, temporary survey. Okay, so you got yours.
I think it's just what it does now, except south of our street, it doesn't stay on our street, it turns on.
Okay. So it still comes up, but let's see,
'Cause
they
it's-
don't have RC listed on there. All I see
This
is
is,
T.
this I think is ours. It'd be nice if they listed it. I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah.
because that's what I'm saying, it's not coming down our street.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me, I am corrected. It is still coming down our street.
Just not all the way, because right now it goes all the way down Arden Capitol.
Okay.
So
when does
you're
it
not,
stop on
you're,
our street?
I think it stops on Eckington Place. It'll turn on Eckington. Both ways.
Okay, so it comes out our street to Eckington, which way is it coming to get Eckington?
The way it does now, down on our, from our.
This way, if you going this way, goes like Rhode Island Avenue,
This is-
coming this way.
Yeah, yeah. This is fourth, this is third. So fourth, T, third, a little bit of R, then Eckington Place.
Okay, well, it doesn't come down the unit nor the 100
Right,
block.
that's losing service.
Okay,
And I think that was the main point we were trying to make,
okay.
because that's a big.
Okay, we're straight. Sorry to hold you
No.
over.
Oh, yeah, we just trying to get the diagram
Yeah.
straight. I definitely seen it right here, though. I got it right here. Trust me.
We'll have a map next time. We'll put maps up, so.
Because that was confusing.
Yeah, yeah. Big changes.
Okay. Announcements from representative. Anthony Black from the mayor's office. See you online.
He is online, we'll give him access.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Good evening, ANC 5F. My name is Anthony Black. I'm your Ward 5 liaison for the mayor's office. Just a few quick updates. Registration is now open for DC Public Library's Discover Summer program. We want young people throughout the city to continue to learn and engage throughout the summer months. And DCPL's Discover Summer is a great way to do that. You can register at DC Public Library's website and get more information as well. DC Department of Energy and Environment is hosting its Fix It DC event. Don't throw it away, fix it instead. Bring your items in need of repair to a Fix It DC event this summer, and someone will repair those items. Those events will be held on Wednesday, June 26th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Southwest Library, 900 Wesley Place Southwest, and Wednesday, July 17th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Cleveland Park Library, 3310 Connecticut Avenue Northwest. DPW is also hosting its leaf season FY25 information sessions. These sessions are held for hiring events for leaf season. The closest one in Ward 5 will be held at Turkey Thicket on Friday, June 21st. The first session starts at 9 a.m. The second session starts at 11 a.m. The third session starts at 1 p.m. and the fourth session starts at 3 p.m. For more information, you can contact 202-671-2400. I can definitely drop that in the chat as well. My ward days are Tuesdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. These are days in which I encourage ANC commissioners, residents to get out with me and address whatever issues and concerns that you may have. Also, I have been promoted. Well, the mayor has decided to revamp Mocha's office. She has created ward managers for each ward, and there will be 2 Mochas hired for each ward as well. I've been promoted to the Ward 5 manager, and we will be.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. And we will be hiring a couple Mochas. We do have one currently, Mr. Curtis Eskridge. I will introduce him to the ANC Commission in the next meeting. But that is it for all the updates, and I'm open for questions and concerns.
Are there any questions for Mr. Black?
One quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any free shredding in the city now? We used to go over to the dump, I think, the first Saturday. Is that going to come back our way again, or is it definitely out?
I didn't hear your question, Commissioner Pinckney. What was the first half of the question? I'm sorry.
Shredding, is there anywhere in the city that is doing free shredding? The city used to do it, but it stopped.
So what I can do, Commissioner, I don't have that information offhand, but what I can do is get back to you immediately. First thing tomorrow morning and let you know.
Okay,
If that program is still available, I definitely will let you know first thing tomorrow.
thank you.
Not a problem.
Are there any more questions for?
Yes, can you ask him, what was the, I know he said June 21st for that leaf season for DPW. Can you ask him what's that contact number again? I know he said 671-2400.
Yes, that's correct. The contact number is 202-671-2400.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
We might have a hand online.
Okay,
The person who's dialed in with the phone number that ends with 2550, I'm asking you to unmute. You should be able to unmute yourself now. Right, below your hand, but if you are able to chat or raise it again, we can let you back.
all righty. Thank you, Mr. Black, for your presentation.
Not a problem at all, Commissioner Webb.
All righty. Next we have Sam Bonner from Zachary Parker's office. Hello, Sam.
All right, I'll just get my privileges.
Great to my name's Sam Bonner. I am the Constituent Services Coordinator for ANC's 5E and 5F, and for council member of Ward 5, Zachary Parker. And I do have a presentation to share, if that's all right. Let me see. There we go. So let me click share. And flip my screen. And let me know if y'all can see my screen. Can you see? Is that a yes? Sorry, I can't hear.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, great. So again, I'm one of the constituent services coordinators. You can always feel free to reach me And I can drop my info in the chat if you don't have it, but you can always reach out to Ward 5 contact at dccouncil.gov or call this number. Sign up for our newsletter as well as to read our most recent newsletters. Which is we send out every Friday and has information about everything going on in the community, just to win what council members have been up to, legislative dates, events, all that. You'll have a podcast now. So you can see there, ward5.us newsletter if you want to sign up, news to see the most recent one, podcast to listen. So in 5F, but it's right nearby, and there was a lot of excitement this past weekend. I unfortunately was out of town, so I haven't been able to check out the new rec center, but really excited about it at the area formerly known as McMillan. So there has been some controversy out there, which I have heard a lot from different neighbors, also in 5F, because the mayor has introduced a call.
Going in and out.
So encourage folks, people have thoughts. Oh, can you hear me?
Sam, you keep going in and out.
Is this any better?
Yeah, whatever you're doing now, keep doing it. Yeah.
Okay. So encourage folks to one, go to the new Splash Park rec center, and two, to share on July 12th about your perspective on what it should be named, because a lot have said that they want it to continue to be called McMillan. Others have said McMillan has, a racist past. Others have said that's the wrong McMillan. Others have said no, that is the right McMillan. There's both have racist pasts in different ways. Anyway, it's very complex. Encourage you all to speak your piece and or share with me your thoughts. And yeah, again, more info will be in the weekly newsletter. We're doing a cleanup, but this is in Woodridge, Michigan Park. Not too far away in Bloomingdale is the Dorothy Celeste Boulding Farabee Way street designation ceremony. That's next Thursday, June 27th at St. George's. This is not super relevant to you all, but I know that I've heard from a lot of folks about the bus network, and I know people were just talking about changes to the P6. So I encourage you all to share your thoughts either with me or with Ward 5 contact at dccouncil.gov. That's being run by Melissa, our comms director, who's been leading on the bus engagement. The comment period closes on July 15th. If you want to see about what the scorecard that we put out in terms of we had done engagement around it last year, and then like whether their final proposed network met the needs that we had identified, you can go to ward5.us/bus scorecard. The last thing I'll say is about, last thing from here is about the budget votes. The council voted on the budget. There is actually one more vote because the budget is technically two bills. There's the Local Budget Act, which is what we voted twice on now, which is like all the numbers, how much money going to each thing. And then there's the Budget Support Act, or the BSA. That second vote will happen in 2 more weeks. So that is the kind of final thing, but there's not really going to be any more changes to the budget. It'll just be changes or tweaks to the legislation surrounding the budget. What the council voted on and supported, as well as what the council member fought for. If you want to kind of get his reflections and recap, you can see the ward5.us/FY25 budget vote 1 or 2 to kind of see a little bit of updates on what happened there. The big updates for 5F, the money, luckily we didn't lose the funding that was going towards the renovations of Harry Thomas Rec Center or towards identifying a Edgewood Eckington library. So those are still moving forward in the financial plan. I know I've asked
many times over the last 8 months to get DPR's clarity on what's happening in terms of the rec center, and they said, "Oh, we'll let you know soon. We promise." That's still forthcoming, and the other thing I would say, not budget related, is I've been doing some engagement both at Emory Shelter, both with residents doing cleanups along Lincoln Road, as well as with some of the shelter residents to better understand their needs and what could be done to better support them, and also so that they can come into compliance, because I know that there's a lot of folks upset about motor oil being left out, people putting trash and broken furniture in the tree boxes side of the road. It's kind of a mess because there's a lot of different stakeholders, a lot of different interconnected issues, and I know people just see that the place doesn't feel quite as nice or as safe anymore. And so I'm trying to do my best to really engage both DHS and the shelter to like how they're engaged and better also engage cleanup systems. There are groups that do cleaning, and finally to try how do we dispose of motor oil in a safely and make sure people know not to leave it out or put it in the trash, and eliminate language barriers, other things like that. And then finally, on the edge of 5F, I'm doing the North Capitol Trust Builders, which is another kind of street engagement project starting tomorrow morning at North Capitol MP with some food and wanting to engage folks there, not just to clean it up, but to also really figure out why has it been such an issue for so long, maybe choose where those folks who hang out there are not just pure and simple homelessness or substance abuse, although maybe they connect, but maybe there's other needs. How can we build the trust of folks who are there so that we can have a safer, cleaner, and just a space where it feels good to be. So I'm going to leave it there and open it up to questions.
He froze.
No, he's saying.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Questions. You went out for a minute.
It's rats all over the city, no matter where you at, even in the cleanest spots. So you just don't have to try to do your cleaning project within that community where the poverty or where the drug addicts or whoever is at messing up the place. You need to do that all over, not try, because it's easy for you to do if you go into the shelters. I'm pretty sure they want some type of job or stipend to do that type of work. The rats run the streets, go in the alleys. People pay $3,200 a month, $2,700 a month. As me, $1,230 a month, and it's rats everywhere. So that means the community, gentrified, different races doing different things. Start with that trash stuff.
When you say start with that,
yeah, you say you're trying.
So I heard most of what you said.
You say you're gonna go down there and give out food and all this and see what's going, see what the people help clean the community.
Come on. No, that's not what
he said they're gonna do
something.
something.
Said that they had something like an event or something.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but the dynamic of it is getting people that's gonna be willing to do.
But you know, you got
people out here right now that would love to have a side job. You know what I'm saying?
And
like a side job, and we'll do it and complete it.
And
but if you're not gonna move towards helping the individual, just move them, that ain't helping that. Because all you doing is creating a problem for somebody else.
Agreed.
Whether it's California,
Agreed.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So I mean, double down on the program. Now, I'm talking about like double down, making service inside the program. Like, if you're gonna
Yes, what we've
help
heard
help,
from a lot of folks is there's a lot of folks doing outreach engagement, a lot of different programs.
don't elevate the problem, help the problem. The problem is the people don't have
That is
it.
the goal.
That's the problem. I call you back.
So I agree. I agree. And would you like to hear my response or?
No, I'm listening to you.
Sorry.
I'm back here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I couldn't tell. Anyway, so I agree with most of what was shared just now. A lot people just try and show up to just move and just try and get rid of the issue instead of actually engaging people as people, not just showing up, here's a service, why don't you want it, but what do you need, and asking people from a place of humility, curiosity, and humanity, and trying to build trust. That is the goal of what we're trying to do, because we've had a failed approach that is just about, we just got to clean this up, lock these people up, get them off the streets, blah, 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 when a lot that isn't actually the issue, especially at North Capitol. So I heard that loud and clear, and that is the goal of what we've been trying to do. I'm not going to try and pretend like we're going to go out there a couple times this summer and fix everything. But we're hoping to engage people on a deeper level, and meet them where they are.
I want to say something. I understand. I know I see what the statement is, but I'm saying that the only way to get to the head of the problem is go directly into the problem. That means that you see people don't have jobs. You see people you seeing these things, you seeing the people walking around. Like, where is the programs? What is the program if they just sitting right there in the building? Where's the program if you see this person doing bad, you're going to say, oh, he one of them. That's what I'm saying. We can talk about this all day and do this all day, and it ain't going to still get nothing accomplished. Just facts.
I think we're in agreement. I couldn't quite understand everything just because you're a little distant from the microphone, but
not to take your position, I'm just giving a suggestion. That's all.
Well, I think what your suggestions are exactly where we're coming from wanting to do this, the program, right? Or do the engagement, is not just, oh, why aren't people showing up for these programs? There's all these programs. Why don't people come in? People don't want them, but actually going there and talking to people, better understand, maybe we're offering the wrong programs. Maybe the programs sound nice, but they actually don't work when people try and use them. Maybe they're in a program, but they don't like their case manager.
Right. Okay. No, I'm letting him finish, but I see where he's going. Every time I see where he's going.
Yeah, but you can't stop it for everybody. You gotta let him keep telling you what he's doing, and we're not letting him
But
get
that's the
that out.
problem. Ain't nobody listening to nobody.
Yeah, I think we.
They in the position. They in the position. This is what we here for, to talk to them.
So I've been on a couple of these calls. They're every month. They're open.
Okay.
They're open to people to participate for the North Capitol Trust Builders. And I will say, like, there are people on there who are saying, what's the problem? Let's just call the police, round them up, move them on. And I will say, Sam, who you're arguing with, is the number one voice on that call for saying that doesn't work. That does not solve the problem.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, and we actually need to interact with people, find out where we're failing them, and so that we can connect them with what will actually help them. And I think they just removed one of the bus stops there because people were congregating, and there are people who think that solves the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve anything. And
we just made an inconvenience for the other people.
Exactly. And so Sam's trying very hard every month to come up with something, and maybe he didn't say it artfully or whatever about handing out food and whatnot. It's not about handing out food. It's about finding a way to engage with people to learn how the city can do better at connecting people. And if you're able to join those calls or provide feedback or anything, I think it'll make this project better.
Also, feel free to reach out to me, 771, or if you'd like, I can wait, but this is my cell phone. Or if you want to come out there on any Tuesday until the end of July at 9 a.m., we're going to be engaging folks. I found that food is helpful because it kind of can bring people in who maybe wouldn't be really open or want to talk to you, just handing out a flyer or trying to do a survey. So my number is 771-333-9880. And I put it to the meeting chat here. My email, I can put in the chat as well. I don't know if someone is able to put this so that everyone can see it them as well. Also, to answer Pinckney's question, Commissioner Pinckney's question, I think there is still shredding events. Unfortunately, with everything in the city right now, and this is the bane of my existence, and this is partly where the North Capitol Trust Builders is also trying to come in, is there's 1,000 different programs. So there's 1,000 different events for different types of waste and different types of shredding and different blah, 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 blah. So there is one, I think it happens every couple of months or maybe once a month in different locations. I dropped it in the chat as well for that, for the shredding.
Thank you.
But yeah, I appreciate y'all's feedback and happy to hear more.
All right, thanks, man.
All righty.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you. Now we're at the point where it says public comment. Aha, we had public comment. Is there any additional comments before we move on?
The motion of hands, yes.
Amen.
No. Let's move to the,
Yeah.
our real agenda.
Okay, we're moving to the presentations relating to agenda items. And the first one up is Edgewood International Wine and Spirits. Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually,
Say your name.
my name is Nigesh Nigesh. I am the owner of Edgewood International Wine and Spirits. I've been in this store 17 years. I try my best to serve this community. There is two liquor stores around here. I observe every day. Business helping the community, right? Me, I try my best to help the community by employing people. You know, 5 years, it was big construction. My business was dead. You know what happened to me? I lost my house. I'm business owner, become homeless. I stayed in the shelter 4 months, me and my children. 2 months, I sleep in my store. 2 years, I didn't pay rent because I cannot pay. The owner of the building, he don't have no choice. If I move, I left. Nobody rent a place. He make a stay, but the money count and count and count. Last year, around like July or August, the road opened. I have a balance, $75,000 past due balance. My rent, because I broke the lease from $3,000, $6,250 a month. That $70,000 every month he add another $1,500 extra payment. $775 I pay rent every month. I'm start doing good. My friend, he came like 3 weeks ago, right? The
3, 4
first
weeks,
woman.
yeah.
They gave me paper. Say I'm going to close at 9 o'clock. Stuff like that. You know what it is? I must get paid. Then he told me, it's not only me, he said, right? Also, another two liquor store. You know what I told you, remember, right? Well, if everybody going to do that, it's a lot. What are you going to do? That's what I told him. Then 2 weeks later, he came. He asked me, did you read the paper? To be honest with you, you know what it is? I'm glad I don't read the paper. If I read the paper, I have 2 strokes. Where that construction happened 2 strokes. Okay, I didn't read it. Because if I read it, it's going to be more stress for me, and I'm going to die. The only thing I said to you guys, if I have to correct something, I'll correct. I told my friend, well, if I don't have trust, let me have security. Evening time. He say, that's going to be too much for you, he told me, you remember? The money will be too much for me. He said, well, I don't have choice. The only thing I ask you, at least let me leave what apartment I am now. If you close me 9, 10, even 11 o'clock, I'm done. I'm gone. That's it. I'm going to be homeless again. Anything I can correct, tell me I can correct it. Number 2, you know that gas station. You guys have to help me in that gas station. People hanging over there, nobody say nothing to them. That thing come to me. Look, that's a story, very thin story. The borders right there is the gas station. Even I told the people, don't stand right here, they move. They go over there. I cannot tell them to move over there. Even I try to do that, they're going to tell me, oh, this is gas station property. Okay? I get so much different problem. This is I'm here today. Whatever I can correct it. Tell me what to do, I can do it. That's what I'm here today. I have 2 kids, 9 and 10. That's what I'm suffering for my kids. Because, you know, the past 4 years, I was eating noodle and hot dog. Can you imagine this? Seriously. Noodle and hot dog with my children 4 years straight. I was suffering that much. But what I don't understand is really eat me inside. Why only me? I want to explain for that. Why only me? Somebody killed over there. You remember the literature, the Korean literature? Somebody killed over there. Nobody said nothing. Please help me. This is the only thing I can say. Look, man, I came 1988 this country when I was 20. When I came here, I don't speak English, nothing. I struggled to learn English. From dishwasher, security guard, I don't have no education. I tried my best to get American dream. I get it. I have 600,000 at home. But this corporate company, I lost everything. It's okay. Please, please, help me with that what I say. I don't want to say nothing else. Thank you.
All righty, I have something to add. Since his establishment is within my single member district, I'm gonna read what I wrote. On Wednesday, May the 29th, 2024, I was informed that 3 liquor stores along 4th Street was approached by several members of the APCA committee, and they strongly enforced their rules of these owners. 1, they must close by 9 p.m. 2, they must sign the settlement agreement. 3, if they do not do the above, they will pull their licenses. Thursday, May the 30th, I approached each establishment and had a conversation with each. On Friday, I sent Miss Sarah from APCA, an email getting clarification about the laws for ABRA licenses. She informed me that these steps the committee decided to conduct was borderline bullying and against the law. And they do not have the authority to pull any licenses, and neither does ANC commissioners. On Thursday, June the 6th, 2024, I received a phone call from Edgewood International Wines and Spirits informing me that Commissioner Mark Galvan returned, insisting they signed a voluntary settlement agreement. Points of clarity. That settlement agreement states voluntary, so they don't have to sign. 2, committees do not have great weight to say anything to any establishment in such a manner. 3, neither does the ANC commissioners. 4, the APCA committee needs to undergo APCA training. That's my suggestion. Settlement agreements can be written at any given point. Every establishment does not need to sign one. Edgewood International Wine and Spirits and Franklin Liquors are in 5F03 SMD, which is mine. They have been in this community for an exceptionally long time, and they have complied with every demand from the community. Now, I'm standing with them because any issue that comes to me about that, his establishment, I go down and I have a conversation. And he'll say, well, I'm like, okay, well, I'll be back. When I come back, the problem is corrected and I have no issues. I don't come at a certain time. I come in the day, I come in the evening, and I come at night. I came down there one day, it was a trash in front of the door. I went inside to inform them. When I came out, that trash was gone, so I didn't say anything. So I'm not understanding, first and foremost, where is everybody getting these ideas that they need to close it because people are hanging out? Trust me.
Nosy neighbors across the street.
I got you. There is not a loitering law in DC. Once you come out of that establishment, you are on public property, and that owner cannot force somebody to move. So, from my understanding, y'all was going to do a protest against this establishment. I did a support right along with a petition for the support and dropped it off at APCA today and Friday. So I need to understand what actions were you planning on taking from this point forward?
Can I be recognized?
Sure. Recognize Commissioner Galvan.
Hello, and good evening, and thank you for coming today to explain and help describe the situation. I know we had that conversation. I want to give a couple points of clarification. Yes, I'm aware that the settlement agreements are voluntary. And I've been hearing from members of my community, more than a dozen of them, who have come to me and said,
What's your community? Can we ask that?
what's that?
What's your community? Sorry to interrupt. We just want clarification.
From the community?
No, he said his.
I know.
So when I say my community, I talk about the single member district that I represent, which is between Douglas and V Street Northeast on 4th Street. So the west side of 4th Street up to Lincoln Road and then all the way down Lincoln Road.
You got on the edge.
No, I am.
It's on both.
Yeah, I represent both.
Okay.
A portion of both, right? And so we have an ABCA committee, which is Alcohol Licensing and Cannabis Committee. It's a public committee. It's there are meetings once a month. We talk about issues and areas of concern. And at that committee meeting, there were several people that had brought up some concerns they had about the hours of operation. Okay. And I did, to Mr. Nagash's point, I did stop by because I had heard that they were willing to protest. And what a protest, as I understand it, it doesn't mean we're stopping the license. It means it goes to a hearing. I have no power I have no power to stop you from getting a license, to be, right? I understand that. And I apologize if that was misinterpreted. There was no intent for me to force you to sign a settlement agreement. It is voluntary. I just know that there is a portion of the community, there are other people in the community who are interested in protesting that. And so I wanted to give you that heads up and also to have a conversation. A settlement agreement can go into effect at any time. But a settlement agreement can also head off a protest. And so that was my intent. And I apologize if that gave you so much heartburn. I have been homeless myself. It's been many years. I understand. It is very rough. And I'm sorry that happened to you. And so, the intent, was to try to reach an agreement that was negotiable. So you're not the only person who I've spoken to. Sosness Liquor, which is right next door, which is in my single member district. We've spoken to them as well about a possible settlement agreement. We had a special meeting last week for Max Liquor, and we approved a settlement agreement for them in negotiating with them because that was protested previously. So this is not to single anybody out. We're trying to consistently make, I should only speak for myself, but I have voted to try to make it so that we have some consistency. So, I'm a commissioner.
Wait. We're gonna give you a chance to speak.
And I'm here to listen. So if there are other perspectives for people who live in the community, I'm open to hearing them. So that's.
Wait.
My
ANCs get their questions off, and then I'm gonna bring it to the public.
I will.
Then I'm gonna bring it to the public.
Give you the balance of my time. Thank you.
Yes, have the hours you are open always been the same hours? From your initial ABCA approval, you are still on the same hours, okay? Have you ever usually?
Oh, sorry, what are your hours? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, that's a good question.
What are your hours?
My hours 9 to 1.
To 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Correct.
Joe, you had a question?
Just on the procedure. I don't know what was communicated. I can tell you what I've communicated to licensees, and I think I've negotiated 3 of them now. Ultimately, ABCA decides this.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that say yes or no to a license, alcohol or cannabis. The ANC commission can take a vote and make a recommendation. The ABCA people will give that great weight, which means they will probably listen to us, but they don't have to, especially if we don't give a good reason. And that's true both for granting a license or for adopting a settlement agreement. So as Commissioner Galvan mentioned, we have an ABCA committee, which developed a template settlement agreement for liquor stores because we had a number of them coming up. They also have a form where community members can submit feedback, pro or con, on different things. And I will say, like, looking through it, it's like half pro, half con. So it's not like it's only the people that hate liquor stores submitting comments on it. Overall, for all the establishments in the commission area. The committee came up with this template. It was discussed at least the last commission meeting, if not 2 past commission meetings, as well as multiple committee meetings. We took email comments on it, on changing the language. Every element of the settlement agreement is in a settlement agreement that ABCA has adopted for a liquor store somewhere in the city. So nothing in it is kind of out of nowhere, been adopted by, made up. It's all drawn from different places. And I've also spoken with ABCA because I had to submit the settlement agreement with Max. ABCA adopted it unanimously and said it was a pretty good settlement agreement. They didn't see any problems with it in the template.
And, you know, we can go line by line on it, but it's about hours, it's about noise, it's about trash, and it's about vermin. Those are the four things that the community members keep talking about, different things for different establishments, and it's the stuff that we're worried about. If, you know, hours, you know, let me bracket that because it sounds like there's a dispute there, and we can talk more about that. Trash, vermin, noise, if there's no problems, then there's no problems, and hopefully we can find a way to communicate that. And if, you know, every time there's a problem, there may be a problem and Commissioner Williams goes there and sorts it out, that's good. Whatever the commitment is.
If the people, if you're saying that the people, none of y'all have the rights to even speak to him right now.
No, that's not.
No.
That's not what he said.
No, they're just basically saying that there's a chain of different people that you have to go down.
What they're saying is they built a committee,
They're representing us.
they have a committee that is supposed to have all of our wards. Supposed to have all of our wards. We're all supposed to have representation based on the committee that they have that show up to their committee. These are the things that they're complaining about.
And the committee can't do anything. All the
And
committee can do
is
is
make
prepare work,
suggestions,
make suggestions. to
ask
us.
for votes, and they take the suggestions and the votes on behalf of their ward, and they represent, supposed to be us.
Yeah, they represent us.
Now, what they're saying is, these are the people that are showing up to their committees. They have them online, they have them here, they have them there, they have them everywhere.
And you're here
But
at this
the
one.
problem with that is, the ones that are surrounding his establishment are not online. They're
And they're
not
not being
coming to your
told.
meetings. The complaints that you're receiving are from the community people that are living there. They've moved into this community because most of these people are birthed here. They have generations and generations and generations. So when they move into the community, they're not adapted with what we have in our uses. So the votes that we want to give, we don't know who to give to. Until you came and said something to him, we would not have been here to represent him. We are part of this community. We're part of the rats. The rats have been here since we've been born. We're part of the trash. We pick it up because we actually hang out there. We eat there, we chill there, we move around there. His establishment is next door to a gas station and a tire place. And we still stand outside. The rats ain't killing us. They're not attacking us the way that it is perceived. If everybody wants to really know what the community wants, you have to come outside of these sectional meetings. And you have to come to the people that are actually outside, along with the people who want to come outside. If these are things about blocking, people are afraid to go, it doesn't sound like crime or not being able to go into the establishment, not being able to go to any of the establishments in the neighborhood. You have to open up your communication to include everybody and not just a selective few. We have elderly parents who send their kids down the street to the store, and please believe we're afraid to send them anywhere else. This is our neighborhood. Our children, once they get a certain age, we like them to be able to walk from grandma block to mommy block. The things that you guys are implementing are taking away from the things that we've been accustomed to growing up with. And we are contributing to the community. We work for the city. We pay our taxes. We're paying for our family members to remain in homes that we grew up in, and we're not even here anymore some of the time. When MPD comes around, we're not getting locked up every day. We're not doing anything wrong. But if you're looking out of your $3,000 apartment and all you see is a group of people outside, no matter what their nationality is, it's uncomfortable. But unfortunately, DC is uncomfortable. You chose a city. In an urban neighborhood, that's what you're gonna see, all colors.
Gentrified.
So my suggestion is, whenever to the ABCA committee, whenever a license is pulled or they get a placard, why can't you invite the owners in on those meetings so that they can have this hard knock conversation. Because like I said, all I do is
That's
go
what I've
down
been
there.
doing with the ones in my SMD.
I go down there, hear a call. I say, okay, I'm on my way down there. I go down there. I have no problem going down there any time of day or night. None.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a conversation. Then I either tell them, let me think about it, or I say, let me check into it, or let's see what's gonna happen if we change this or change that. But there's no problem as far as him complying to anything, any of those suggestions that I made. That's why I don't understand. Why? So they have to have this agreement, close at 9. I'm not understanding. Please help me understand.
Sure.
Especially if you have a license that already established that he can stay open to a certain time.
But he actually closes it early.
I understand, but still his
12:57
license
to
it
be
says
exact.
that he can stay open to this point in time.
I work there, that's, we close
I
at
work there as well
12:57.
too.
Yeah, that's what I
I
was
was
saying.
there from the
And
beginning.
these are people from the community that he employs.
I was born and
I
raised
understand.
here. I was there
Well,
from the beginning.
DC initially didn't allow liquor stores to stay open.
Yeah, he
It
got
was something that as a city, we voted on. This is an establishment that we need in our neighborhood. They've removed all of our stores
everything.
and they've replaced them with commercial bars and different things like
Or
that.
condos.
We utilize the bars, but we don't want to go to the bar every day. We don't want to sit and pay the bar prices every day. In order
Especially
to
if you don't
minimize
have it.
that, we go to the liquor store.
If you don't have it,
Other people in other communities come into the liquor store. When they come into the liquor store, we have food establishments they go to. We have a gas station they utilize. We have a tire place they utilize. The real issue is if there isn't a lot of crime, this is something we worked hard to get. Why take it? Why take it from us? And when I mean us, I mean everybody, because we're not the only ones who utilize the liquor store. We're not the only ones in your community that utilizes.
late night, they come running in.
But I mean, it's honestly, we're giving back to our neighborhood. We're upgrading our neighborhood. We have laws and stuff that DC put in place to help us not travel to Maryland, to utilize our money here, to be able to stay in our safe neighborhood, to be able to walk down the street, go back in the house, either walk down the street and enjoy outside, but you can't give us everything and say, please don't utilize it.
Okay, we have a question from Commissioner Pinckney.
It's a comment. ABCA is in business to give people liquor licenses. That is how they stay in business. That is their purpose.
They pay a license.
Now it has grown into cannabis.
Yes.
But prior to cannabis, they are in business to make sure that the different bars, liquor stores, whatever they have a license. They are the only ones who can take your license. And they make the rules.
I understand that, but like I said, my boss has a license that's already set for his time.
Oh, yeah.
He applied for, so why are y'all trying to settle on the time that, trying to make his time different?
Yeah. It's up for renewal right now.
Say that again?
It's up for renewal right now.
It's
So
already been renewed.
Every 3 years, it's placarded for renewal.
It's already been renewed.
Well, so there's,
Everything is up to date.
the hearing for the renewal will be on July 8th. It hasn't happened yet. They've placarded it that says it's currently pending. So just to finish the point on procedure, the ANC can protest a license or it can endorse a license. The Civic Association can protest a license or endorse a license. And any, is it 5?
5 people.
Any 5 people can protest a license. People are going to protest this license. It's coming.
So y'all
It's the
just-
same people it's the same people sending us feedback are gonna, there's at least 5 of them, and they're gonna protest this license. What I tell the licensees in my district and you know, we should make this a habit, is a settlement agreement. I like settlement agreements for two reasons. One, it's in writing. So, you know, if I tell a licensee something, they don't have to just take my word for it. It's actually written down on something where if I go back on it or I lose an election and there's somebody else, it's still enforceable for that person. The deal still stands. That's one reason. The second reason is a settlement agreement overrides a group of 5 protest. If we sign a settlement agreement with you on whatever the terms happen to be, ABCA will, ABCA's gonna do whatever they're gonna do, but according to their procedures, they will weigh an ANC settlement agreement over a group of 5 protest. So, you know, on the question of, you know, that's, I just want to say, that's why I like settlement agreements. If it's about what's in the settlement agreement, that's obviously perfectly fair game, and we can keep talking about that.
So what do you mean when you be saying the settle agreement? What's gonna change?
Well, that's honestly what I want to know. So I get that there's a difference on hours. 1 a.m. is what it is right now. The draft had what?
This draft has 10 p.m.
This draft has 10 p.m.
Hold on.
So there's a dispute that. I get that. What else?
Settlement agreement, that's basically just changing the time.
Changing the time.
What
Is
else?
the settlement agreement going outside of ABRA rules, whatever ABRA provides rules and regulations based on the application itself? Is the settlement agreement saying that those rules don't meet well in my community? We've decided on these rules. Is that the point of a settlement agreement?
Generally, they go above and beyond in some way. And there's parts of the city that have done a moratorium zone. That is no liquor stores out.
So if you have 5 under the if you have 5 ready to protest.
Yeah.
And we have 5 ready to protest against what could happen outside of the settlement, who makes the real decisions in the settlement?
We don't have no control at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. You don't have no control.
So the settlement agreement is not overriding ABRA. It is a suggestion to
ABCA decides
this.
this.
So what ABRA is saying is you place your application is being reviewed. This group is saying if you follow these rules, then all of us are saying, okay, let's have the license. And if we don't agree to that, then we just go straight through ABRA, go through whatever trials and tribulations that come under their rules, and hope that we win at the end.
I think that's correct.
Okay.
Quick question. Could you say earlier, ABRA has already approved this new settlement agreement?
No.
Not for him.
Not for him.
Approved the
For
verbiage. He said earlier the verbiage that they used.
So we had our special meeting adopting
They went through ABRA.
the max settlement agreement, which, I
Do
mean,
we
Commissioner
ever
Galvin
do
can
ABRA
tell me how much it differs.
Yeah, it's not by much. Not by much.
But I sent this.
They adopted the max settlement agreement, which differs
It
not by much.
It does not differ by much from the max, like very little verbiage change between what max settlement agreement is.
Everything that's going on here
Is it
does not
max
need
or
a
MAC?
BZA.
MAC.
This
MAC
has nothing to
apostrophe
do
S.
with BZA.
Yes.
This is just all about the license itself. Nothing to do with BZA. There's nothing that he needed extra on
Not
any
far
of
as
his.
BZA, that's a whole different department.
It's a different.
This is all about his liquor license.
And as young black people, strong young black people, who wants to be here representing some liquor store? We wants to be in the community representing something that's going to help us improve, not a liquor store. Okay, now, it was a crime there. Where's the other liquor store people there? So this is my Ebonics thing for you for not listening to this young lady that's explaining everything to you that y'all can understand. When something happens and it's closing at 10 or it's not there anymore, then you got something started because there's only one black man that's been closed down. But you have another Korean store in this corner, and then the one up the street where a killing was at when I was outside right there when it happened at another store. So where's them people at? And who saved those elders because the respect from the young, strong black people that's in this room? Me, 82 years old, Korean people, trying to fight. And then the murder. Now, nothing came down to the black man's store. So when it gets like that, then now y'all gonna have a different type of thing. They're gonna be
All
saying,
right.
oh, it's racist, it's racist. He the only black man.
All
here.
that we
Why
ask
that?
is that y'all
Too much.
extend your communication to the actual people that are not only in your community, that surrounded the community that utilize it. You guys need to come outside and you need to find out how many of them feel the same way as what you guys have already created to see if that fits everybody. Because if it only fits your neighborhood or your community, your part in the neighborhood, it doesn't work for the community of the neighborhood. We are Ward 5. We are broken up into sections. We have representatives that we vote on that we hope take into consideration what we want. I go to the establishment, I'm not employed there. It's a part of my neighborhood. I've been in this neighborhood for 20 years. I have children in this neighborhood. I feel safe going down there. I feel safe coming home. I like the hours because I work 2 jobs. I work for the city in the day. I work a part-time overnight. When I get off of work, I don't mind grabbing what I gotta grab. I love utilizing the gas station in the daytime and the night. I get the gas, I get my liquor, and I go upstairs. If my kids need to run down to get juice, I feel safe. He is a part of the community. He is a part of the neighborhood. We are tired of losing things in our community and neighborhood that have been here as long as we have. We would like to keep him here. We would like to keep him open to satisfy everyone. We worked really hard to get DC liquor stores to be open later. Having him close early takes away from what we did in the city, not just in this section.
All right, we got to pull down some time.
I just want to hear what he had to say over there.
Yeah, because he was anxious. I was
I
waiting.
I was gonna say,
I want to hear what he had
yeah.
to say. Please tell me, please.
You are correct in that I'm probably not of the same cultural background as you. I would also say that I'm in bed every night by 9:30, so this will not affect me and most of the folks I know. But that is okay. But I guess my question is how much business do you do, sir, from like midnight to 1? Is there a compromise anywhere? Is that the heavy period?
Yes.
I don't know. And I really won't stay up to find out.
You can answer that.
She said I work there.
Okay, there's people who could speak to this. Is there not compromise
Okay, as
easy
a
day?
manager, Friday, Saturday, Father's Day we're busy too. Sundays, Mondays we okay, but from 10:32 p.m. Until 12, I close the doors at 12:57. There's nothing after 12:58 coming in that door.
Okay, all
So
right,
we're closing before 1.
And they have
okay.
12:57. The last person come in, that's it. That's all doors are locked. Everybody's
Gotcha.
leaving out this door at the same time because I'm trying to go home too. But that's when everybody comes in, get everything they need. There's a couple of people that was on the, I guess you want to say, they want to protest. They came in the store at 12:34 for some milk because their child didn't have milk. They forgot to go in the daytime. So if you're closing it down and you're forgetting that your kid need milk, where you gonna get the milk from? It's not that we just have liquor there. There's food there, there's bread there, there's snacks there, there's bacon there, eggs. It's not just a liquor store. Let's stop looking at it as just a liquor store.
Sure.
Just because people hang out there doesn't mean, oh, we're about to get broad, we're about to do this, we're about to do that. No.
So midnight to 1, you're saying is a busy period.
Yeah.
It's a very busy period.
There are lines from
People are
Thursday
rushing to
to
get the last things
Saturday.
they need.
That is the most popular time, even
Oh.
as just going. And then the
By
time
the
you
way,
wanna
let
go.
me tell you
You wanna
something.
go, you wanna
Every
see
It's very
people,
important.
you wanna mingle, those are the hours that you go
Oh
out.
man,
And then
there's
you
a lot
can't
of the
even say
neighborhood I
the
don't
noise
know.
complaint
Unless
is
it's
coming
something-
from a liquor store, because you still got Metro Bar that's still open too. If their
Thank
music
you.
is loud,
Thank
and
you.
y'all just put that
And
up
that's
there.
loud,
Yeah, y'all just put that there.
loud
Y'all
music.
just
So
fast
this is
forward.
not to try to sound racist or anything of that nature, but our culture and their culture, everybody's loud. When you're having fun with your friends, everybody's bound to be loud.
Yes, indeed. That's what I
Regardless
said,
of
noise.
anything, you're having fun, we're gonna be loud. You're not enjoying yourself, hey, we'll probably step up and be like, hey, are you okay? Do you need a hug? What's wrong? You want a shot with us? Let's take a
No,
shot.
it's a book
Like,
party. They're
have
having book
fun with
parties,
each
that's
other.
why.
We're not just trying to be out here not doing nothing.
Understandable.
We're trying to embrace each other, but it's like y'all pushing us away.
Yeah,
What's the point?
y'all don't want us to be around each other.
And then
Tell the National Bar to close.
By the way, let
Tell
me tell you something.
the movie
Can I say
theater
something?
close.
You
Early.
know, one thing you heard me, I borrowed $60,000 2 months ago. I remodeled the store. Did you see my store, right? Go look this liquor store. Who sell bread? Who sell egg? Who sell milk? Nobody. You know what? That liquor to open 6 p.m. By law, we have to open 9 a.m. This schedule 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., right? But he don't want to come. Why? Because there's no business daytime. Jesse come exactly 6 o'clock. He open to 12. He's gone. Me, I open on time. I have to serve my people too. I sell milk. He already look at. Okay, that's what I did.
I want to thank everybody for their comments about this. Is there anybody online that has any questions, comments?
I saw some hands go up and down. If anyone wants to comment online, raise your hand and we'll recognize you. I don't.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, acknowledge the person.
Yep. Melissa?
Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm an immediate neighbor, and I'm very compassionate to the store owner situation and the people who have been in the neighborhood for a long time. I think what people are failing to acknowledge is that no one's looking to close the store down. And regardless of how long someone's been in the neighborhood, everybody is part of the neighborhood. And there has been a correlation in a decline of public safety and quality of life for people who actually live in the neighborhood in the ANC. It's a neighborhood commission. And this has been associated with the hours of operation, particularly after 10 p.m. People who live close to the store have experienced a negative impact on their quality of life. They've bought homes that are now, we've had people in our building who have not been able to sell when they need to because of activity happening across the street. There is no loitering law, but a lot of the patrons that go to this establishment routinely block sidewalks. They loiter on adjacent private property. There's illegal drug use every single day. There's been gunfire in multiple occasions to and from the people patronizing the facility. There's public drinking on the sidewalk. There's lots of noise associated with that. A lot of this happens after 10 o'clock at night, which is when DC has a noise ordinance where people are allowed to enjoy peace and quiet in their homes. There's a lot of litter. That I will give kudos to the establishment for picking up the litter on their street, but lots of people cross over into the daycare in front of our place and throw stuff there, and the place across the street and throw stuff there as well. There's also just been an increase in crime, break-ins, thefts, vandalism, trespassing. And for somebody who owns a property nearby, we've had people fornicating, urinating, and defecating on our private property, which just displays a complete disregard for community standards. And yes, you can't control your patrons, but the people who come into the store and who are doing these things are welcome into the store on a very daily basis. They're given small jobs to do, and if these people were a problem and they're threatening your license, and you can just tell them that they can't come here. Don't disagree that this place is a good store for the neighborhood. No one is sending their kid to get milk at 11:30 at night, and so therefore closing at 10 o'clock until we can otherwise prove that the problems that the immediate neighborhood is having are not tied to this is probably a good thing to do. The other 3 liquor stores in the immediate vicinity have been fine with closing at 10. We're not singling out this person at all. And my comment. Thank you.
They're closing. They owe.
Yeah, they already.
Man, they the millionaires. They
Okay,
own
wait a
that
minute, wait a
joint.
minute. We
They
got to
closing
be,
at 10, man. They've been closing that.
we're gonna have to,
Has the crime increased? Because he's been here
For a long time.
in the last 5 years, he's been here. Where is has the crime increased
Been the same.
from one license to another? Let's just do one renewal to another. Are you saying since they open later that the crime has increased there and that is what we're trying to protect? Or are we saying that the people in the neighborhood
They just
go down to that area in the later evenings
to cause problems.
Can we just be real? When Pizza Mart was here, everything was fine, everything was
I
still
just
fine.
said that.
Yeah, we didn't have so much
problem.
we
It was no
were
problem.
not.
Until they put that
we didn't
condo
look
right
like
there,
this.
it was no.
We didn't look like
It was
this.
no
We didn't
problem.
have condominiums.
But we also
We didn't have.
We ain't had no
Excuse
people
me,
just
excuse
worried
me,
about what's
excuse
going
me.
on. There ain't
We're
nothing.
gonna finish with these questions, those that have their hands raised.
Okay, should I recognize the next one?
Well, you've been in here for 2 months, and you talking
Erica.
all this stuff, man.
You should be able to unmute.
Great,
Madam-
thank you. I won't spend too much time speaking. You know, Miss Melissa that just spoke really voiced a lot of my concerns that I share. Similarly, I live in the area immediately across the street from Edwidge Wine and Liquor, and I will reiterate what she said. I'm not asking for the liquor store to close. I think it's great to have stores, restaurants of all, you know, establishments of all types in every community. That's what makes a neighborhood attractive and, you know, want to live there. I do think that there is a direct correlation with the issues that those of us that do live in the immediate vicinity experience and the late night hours. It's, you know, it's loud. People are double and triple parked. And to be clear, I don't have an issue with people being on the street. It's a city. It's a little hot for my taste to be outside right now, but you know, do your thing. If that's what you want to do is be outside. It's the late night hours when kids are trying to sleep, cars are double, triple parked, people are getting drunk, going in and out of the store, spilling over into the neighboring properties. You know, we have people come and sit on our porch. You ask them to leave and they scream at you. That's not something that, you know, I want to encounter when I'm trying to take my dog out for, you know, the last walk of the night. So I would just say, again, supportive and happy to have the store in the neighborhood, but it's my strong recommendation that the hours be changed. So thank you.
Who yells at you?
People are going to be people. You understand?
We're trying to hear from everybody.
As a community in your next.
You're not even talking to the community people. You're talking about people that's not even probably from around here that come and do these type of stuff.
In your next meeting, would y'all mind asking, do they have issues with traffic after the liquor store is closed? Are they still making complaints about people being outside past 1 o'clock?
Okay, let me acknowledge this other hand that's on here, okay?
Raphael?
Hi, my name is Rafael Moreno. I just want to echo what Eric and Lisa shared. I also live right across the street from the liquor store, and it's a daily issue. I'm honestly quite tired of the constant noise and having to deal with the chaos that comes from it. I don't see a reason why it should stay open to 1 a.m. That's just makes so hard for us to just have peace at home when there is so much chaos happening outside and you see drug dealing and all sorts of illegal activity. And I'm over it. Like that's just not acceptable. That's not a way of doing business and letting the community be. That's just not okay. And I hope that they take the settlement. Again, it's not a problem with them being open, it's with them being open after 10 when people are trying to rest. That's just not fair.
Okay.
I think there's one
This
more.
is a city where everything works all day.
Good evening, patrons. The time is now
Yeah.
8:30.
I'm trying to get there.
Okay, Civic Center officially closed. The time is now 8:30. To all of my fitness center patrons, I ask that you begin to bring your workouts to a close, return your weights to the rack, dispose of your trash in the appropriate trash receptacles. Have a great evening. The time is 8:30. We are officially closed. Thank you.
Okay, I've heard them mention drug dealings or any things of that nature.
Please.
But what does that have to do with this store? What happens outside has nothing to do with this store, the inside. They're not drug dealing on the inside of the store. Outside of the store is public property. It has nothing to do with his license or him. So if you walk down the street and you see somebody dealing drugs, you're gonna say, oh, it's associated with him, just because it's on the same block? That's not how that works.
Like they did the murder over there.
They do that in the daytime,
They up the street, they
nighttime,
doing
in
something
between
that's
time. You can't
Okay,
stop drug
okay,
dealers from drug
okay.
dealing.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank y'all.
So,
When is next meeting?
July 15th.
He just said July 8th, so
Oh.
you're not invited to
No,
the
his
meeting.
meeting
No.
was
Great.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
ANC meeting.
That's a great.
But yeah, but go to the license one, that's probably more important.
oh, it's dark.
Oh, I'll be listening.
I have one more
I'll try,
where's
I'll try.
hand raised on the
Maybe on a
online.
Friday, if I get a
I
bottle of wine.
acknowledge Greg.
Hello, I am someone who lives in the community. I live directly across from the liquor store. Although I understand the belief that just because there's public property that people doing there, right, the liquor store has no influence. But living across the street and paying attention to the liquor store because my windows face the store, I can confirm that's not quite the case, right? Patrons are free to go in there, come into our driveway or our stairwell, take a piss, go back over into the liquor store, right? The problem that your neighbors have is that they want to enjoy their property just like everybody else does, without glass on the sidewalk in front of their property, trash being dropped down their window wells, which we have facing the liquor store, glass bottles from patrons coming out of the property, crossing the street because they know if they stand in front of the liquor store staff will probably inform them they're not allowed to do that. But the minute they're off the liquor store property, across the street on the private property, or the sidewalk, which everyone seems to realize, right? They're free to do whatever they want. So your neighbors are just making a point to you that they want to enjoy their property just like everyone else in the neighborhood, regardless of whether you agree with the condos being there or you agree with, right, the people living there. They are still part of the community, as Melissa pointed out. I walk my dog around the block every day. And every day I can always see a patron doing something on my property and then running to the liquor store or running away from the liquor store, going into the parking lot next to the liquor store that is also a gas station or some other activity around the liquor store. So as a resident, while I don't want the liquor store to close, I do want a solution to me being able to enjoy my property in the neighborhood, just like everyone else, without issue or threat or other problems that have been mentioned beforehand.
Well, you got.
Excuse me. Is there anyone else?
They homeless though, he's saying the real stuff.
No one else is raising their hand.
Ain't got no control.
I'm about to check out the meeting.
Can't be unfair, we gotta listen to them. They gonna-
Consent agenda, I do have some.
You can't keep saying, "Fuck, we
I've set
gotta
up
compromise."
the agreements
We don't
like the period goes
compromise
on.
nothing.
Let's get going.
Shit gonna be tug of war, bro.
Okay, we're gonna take a vote on this.
There's no motion.
He's saying that I bought a
Just
house.
trying to make-
I bought a house and I want
Debated
to
it, they're here.
to sell it. You need a
Excuse me. We about to wrap this up, but we still got some stuff to do before we do that. Please. Thank you. Appreciate you. We gotta vote on this matter and we gotta get at least one or two of these consent agendas in.
Should we vote on consent agenda items?
Yes.
Is there?
Right now,
anyone
I
who wants
make a motion in support for Edgewood International.
Oh, that might.
Point of order, that's in the action agenda. That's not in the consent agenda
Okay,
right now.
no problem.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move to the consent agenda. Oh, okay. 501 wine and spirits.
We negotiated a draft settlement agreement. The proprietor signed it. It's identical other than the name of the establishment to the one that we approved in Max and was adopted by APCO. So I move that be on the consent agenda.
Yeah.
There's a second.
I second.
So it's in motion and it's been seconded by Commissioner Sunny. I'm gonna get it right one day. Do we need to take a?
Harry Thomas left.
We can do it when we.
15.
Should we do all three of them at the same time?
Yeah, we'll all do them all at the same
We
time.
do them all at Trader Joe's.
Well,
Same stuff?
Yeah, but we got Trader Joe's.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
So-
not Edgewood. We'll do Edgewood separately.
Who's Trader Joe's?
Fine.
Who sued me?
yeah, so I negotiated a settlement agreement with the
Yeah, because
lawyers
Trader Joe's
representing
won't get
the Trader Joe's on 701 Monroe Street. It's our first grocer agreement. And so I ran it past ABCA, ABCA liked it, and so I put it forward to the commission for a vote.
Okay. Sosnick.
For Sosnick's, we drafted an agreement. We worked with Sosnick's management. They have not signed that settlement agreement yet. So I'd like to remove that from the consent agenda because we would need a signed settlement agreement for the ANC to approve first. I'd like to make sure that I have agreement before I do that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
That's just those two.
yeah.
Those two.
Yeah, because Commissioner Pinckney removed. Yeah, that continues. Okay. This has been removed.
Excuse me.
So y'all want to do this all at once? How?
Just one? Yeah, one vote, I think, for the
Unless
two.
anybody wants to pull one of them for discussion and debate.
Oh,
One vote,
Yeah, all right.
yeah, one
Please,
vote
God,
for
don't do
the
that.
501 and Trader Joe's.
Right.
Yeah, together.
Okay,
I second that.
yep. Should we call the roll?
Yes,
let's
call the roll.
All right. Commissioner Hurst votes aye. Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Galvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Pinckney.
Aye.
Oh, we got 6-0. All right, those two are adopted. Action items, do we want to try and knock those out or no, neither one of those are ready to knock out easily. Those are tricky.
Yeah, so, well, I think there's a way to do this for
Is
the
it?
action agenda on the Edgewood International Wine and Spirits.
What should we do?
Because she removed the Eckington Mute.
Yeah,
So
we're not
we
doing
don't
that.
have-
So
we're
now
not
all we
doing
have
that.
the,
Yeah,
Correct.
that's gone.
Correct.
All right, I make a motion that we support Edgewood International Wine and Spirits.
We needed something in writing that we.
Chair Williams,
Yeah,
so on the action agenda is the draft settlement agreement to vote on.
the draft settlement, like I said, and I had a conversation with ACCA.
Yes, understood. My point is just what I did with Sosnick's, which does not, I only have a draft that I did not get signatures from them yet. Just like I have not gotten a signature from Mr. Nagash here as owner. Voting on a draft settlement agreement doesn't make sense for us.
that's not
We
what
should
your
pull it.
motion was.
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
I think your motion was just to endorse it
Support it
without conditions.
without conditions. Like I said, I had a conversation with ACCA. A settlement agreement can come at any time. But at this time, I don't see why and where we need a settlement agreement.
I just feel like we should have a block party, so y'all come see what we're like. and call it a
Yeah, but
day.
we got
No,
to turn
man,
out.
he can't come out.
Wait,
I know.
wait, wait.
It's
We'll
a
make
9
it.
o'clock
One moment,
block
come on.
party. It's gonna be awesome.
They gotta make a decision on the vote. You can't close out without making a decision.
Okay.
You were saying?
Got it. So your motion on the floor for the action agenda for Edgewood International Wine and Spirits is to support.
Mhm.
Okay.
Without the settlement agreement, draft or any otherwise.
Can I say something real quick? I find it difficult to vote against this when this gentleman told us his story. Now, I can't prove his story, but it was a very sad story. And I would hate to think that the ANC is in the business of putting any business out of business, whether it's a bar, restaurant, or liquor stores. But I'm just giving you my opinion.
I guess we're debating on it. I think, I didn't hear anybody in the public saying, put them out of business, close them
No,
down.
I am saying, no, if.
No, but that's
we
what you just
tell
said,
them,
and I don't think I heard anybody say that. You know, there's a dispute about hours, I got that. I have not really heard what else is problematic in the settlement agreement. So if it's like, I mean, if the attitude is that from either side, like no settlement agreement, then we will not act, and the group of 5 protest will happen, and that will play out at APCA.
And the group of 5
If we
supporters will
want,
happen too, I'm sure.
if we want to cut, you know, if we agree on everything but hours, that might be enough. I don't know. I haven't counted the votes, but we could get 95% there and prevent a group of 5 protests and a mediation and a hearing and all the process that comes after this. But, you know, I'm not the SMD. I'm not the person across the street. I'm not the establishment owner. And if I'm trying to get people to talk to each other and they don't want to talk to each other, then, you know, then so be it. But like, I appreciate everybody here today. I've also heard from everybody who's not here today. And I'm trying to keep in mind that, you know, I think somebody mentioned this, you know, just because you hear from 20 people, that doesn't mean they're everybody. And I got that too. But, you know, if nobody wants trash in front of the place, if nobody wants, you know, drug use, if everybody agrees on that, then I don't see why we can't come to a settlement agreement, but that's just me. So I will be voting no on Commissioner Williams's motion to approve it without conditions, because I think there needs to be some conditions.
And can I add, by close a business down, I meant time is money. And if you take 3 or 4 hours from a job you're doing every day, that's money.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Commissioner Williams. From my perspective, and I think Joe probably said it better than I could. First of all, again, I really appreciate everyone who's come here. Yes, there are both sides to this. I was hoping that the conversation of the settlement agreement would be a starting point to talk about what we could do as a compromise solution. Yes, 9 p.m. was way too early. Okay, great. Where can we meet in the middle? Is that 11 p.m.? Because they want 10 p.m.? You know, what's that negotiation time period? And I don't think we're going to work that out here. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So, you know, personally, I would like to see, since everyone else, not everyone else, a lot of the other liquor stores nearby are agreeing that this settlement agreement is reasonable. Yeah, understood. You know, I think this is a good draft. But if you haven't read it and we're not going to be able to negotiate that tonight, then the group of 5 protest is going to happen. And so I don't want to be in the middle, you know. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I want to let, hold on, just 1 second.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I want the community to speak on their own. And so that's what this is. So
That's fine.
that's what I said.
But let me also put in there, excuse me, let me put in there, the deadline for their protest was today at 5 p.m.
It's at midnight tonight. It's midnight tonight.
But I want to also emphasize that I turned in a 32-page, 27 per page signature petition supporting this store. So like I said, I've been an ANC for too long, and I've had conversation after conversation with APCA. And I gave them a copy of your agenda, settlement agreement. And she pointed out, just like I read it, it says volunteer. Volunteer settlement agreement. I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding what the word volunteer means.
If you want to.
But this is what I'm having a problem with. It says volunteer, but you're telling us, oh, if they don't do this paper, then we got these 5 protesters. But this paper says volunteer. And you keep forcing it, and it's sounding to me as if If you don't sign this volunteer settlement, then this is what's gonna happen.
No, let me rephrase, the point of order, let me rephrase that. The 5 protest is gonna happen anyway.
That's fine.
It's gonna happen anyway.
That's fine.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Let me ask you a question. You said the other one, Taylor liquor store, right there?
The what?
The liquor store. No, the other one.
Sosa?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did he sign voluntary agreement?
No, but I have been negotiating with them.
No. My question is, did he sign?
No.
No.
Okay. Already his protestant times expired, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Expired. Did you protest him?
You put the $5 on him?
Did you protest? You don't protest him. Why you protest
Why you
me?
putting the $5 on him?
Because the
Answer this question.
the question is because
Hold on. Why you protest?
because there were folks in the community who came to me and said that they didn't have any challenges
But
or
when he
issues with
came, he
that.
told me, no. Look, we have to make it clear this, okay? We have to make it clear this. This is clear, man. I understand what it is. Did I tell you I understand exactly what it is? I told you, man.
Okay.
That's what he did.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, my other boss over here.
This
said
is
we have to
amazing.
go.
Really, you know what it is? Let me tell you something.
I'm a
Sir, let me tell you something. You know what? All of us, we have one God. You know that? We have only one God. That's it.
So you know what I'm saying? So we gotta wrap it up.
Defer this to a special meeting now?
Well, you made a motion. Did it get a second?
Oh, well, okay, I
Yes.
second it.
Okay, so we should vote on your motion.
After you read the motion again. I know what it is, but I want to hear her phrase it again.
I said, I made a motion for us to support the liquor license, the renewal license for Edgewood International Wine and Spirits. That's a long one. That's it,
Edgewood
right?
International Wine and Spirit, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Call the roll.
Sure.
Roll call.
All right, roll call. Commissioner Hurst, I'm gonna abstain. Commissioner Galvin.
Nay.
Commissioner Sani.
Nay.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Nay.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Pinckney.
Aye.
That's
2 yes, 3 no.
2 yes, 3 no.
Where we going to war then?
3 no.
We going to war.
There's another one right here.
We're going to war.
Right.
Nah, that's a 4, that's a 4.
And then Commissioner Galvin had noticed a motion. If he wants to.
1, 2, 3.
What's that?
You had noticed a motion on this. That's what was on it. If you want to make it.
I guarantee you.
You mean make a motion on the draft settlement agreement?
Well, no, it was, I think you had emailed saying if
Yes.
we have a settlement agreement, we
Yes.
adopt it, otherwise to protest. I don't have it. I don't have
Yes, so the motion on the floor, which was to protest.
Well, there's nothing on the floor right now. Nobody's made it.
I'm sorry.
So if you want to make a motion, make a motion.
Well,
Anybody can make a motion.
yeah, in the agenda, there was, I submitted for, in the event the agenda, listen, we did not have a settlement agreement, but we would recommend a protest. That was on it. And so I would like to make a motion for that. Do we have a second?
For what? Because
So-
I didn't think he was talking.
So to
It's the
protest
motion he circulated
by email, which specifically states,
Because they don't want to do an agreement.
On this guy that was here
Mhm.
tonight. I thought he
be it
already had
resolved that
5
ANC
people
5F
protest.
protests ABCA
Oh, the ANC is
095032.
gonna protest.
Yep, on the grounds that were stated in the email.
No, I'm not going for that.
How does that
Because
work?
that's in my single mama.
Well, that's my motion. So do we, I guess, do we have a second?
Second.
We need to call the roll again.
Yes.
Commissioner Hurst, I'm gonna abstain. Commissioner Galvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Sani.
Abstain.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
No, yeah.
Thank you. No, all right, okay.
All right. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
It was 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2.
Wait a minute, I gotta make a
You have a motion to adjourn first.
That's what I was trying to tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Make a motion. then-
Oh, one appointment. Appointment of Megan Summers to the Library Task Force. I don't know who that was, but it's on there. So,
Beautiful.
any questions on that?
No.
Second.
Any-
I love
seconded
it,
by-
yeah.
Moved by Sonny, seconded by Hurst.
Yep.
No objection.
Okay. All right, now you can go.
I make a motion that, ready. Sit down, I'll make a-
Okay, all right, I'll stop.
I make a motion that this
Good night.
meeting is adjourned.
Have a great night.
Second.
Second.
And there we go.
No objection.